Hi guys, so in the last video I talked about layers, and in this video I want to teach you some techniques of how we can clean up our layers to make it just easier to organize and just cover over some of the common problems that you have. So what can commonly happen is, first up, students would use only one layer for their entire project, and it gets really messy. So if I was to go Control A and cut them all, and if I make a new layer and Control Shift V to paste it back, you can see they're all on one layer, and that just gets really hard for me to clean up. Okay, so if I want to change anything, they're all on different layers doing lots of different things. So what I'm going to do is show you how, so undo that, show you how you can clean up your content. So first thing that I would want to do with this, and I haven't quite done it exactly how you should, is if we go Control A, can you see all these photos? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I generally like to do, and 7, 8 down there, what I generally like to do is have all of my inspiration images on one layer. So I'm just going to select, I can drag a box to select a few, and then I can hold down Shift and I can manually add things. And you can see there's a pink, there's a red, there's a blue outline, telling me they're all on different layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut by going Control X. To remove them, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to label it Images and make sure I have that layer selected. I'll go Control Shift V. Now adding Control V is just paste, Control Shift V is paste it in place, and what that does is it puts it back in the same position, but it's just put it back in that new layer. Now the reason I want to do that is it means I can then hide and unhide all of those as one. I could also lock them, so if I was tracing over them, now that that layer is locked, I can't move it by accident. So I can then take the pen tool on another layer and start drawing all over that, or as the case may be, under it, because Hills is below. Undo. So to clean up, you can do something like that. Control Shift V is paste it in place. If you were to be for example, what can commonly happen with this vector landscape project is students forget or don't pick A4. So if someone was to go a new file, quite often I have students do letter, or they might do a web, or they've done some weird shape, or like a video layer that's 1920 by 1080. And then when we go to print it, what it's going to do is it's going to be the wrong shape. So you're going to have white space, either letterboxing vertical, so white space up and down on the sides, or sometime on the top and bottom. So if you were making a new document, let's just say I want to copy and paste it all over to another document. Let's do that again with a landscape. What we can do, go Control A, let's unlock that, Control A to select everything, Control C to copy, and Control Shift V to paste. But what it's actually done, Control Shift V paste it in place, so everything's hunky-dory in its position, but you can see how they're all blue. They're all on layer 1. It has not taken those layers over. So if you want to convert from one version to another, from one page to another, and keep their layers, click this little hamburger menu over here and go Paste Remembers Layers. So now we go Copy, Control C, Control Shift V to paste, and that paste has remembered all of those separate layers and distinguished them and added it to the layer 1 that was already there. So that's how you can take it from one file to another, but more importantly, how you can keep them as separate layers, but don't forget to untick that. Okay? If you don't have that unticked, what can happen what I was showing before, let's take Control X, take it from layer 5 into, let's say, Hills. I'll go Control V. It puts it back in layer 5. So anything that you are removing, cutting and pasting, it remembers that layer. So just make sure if you want to move it from one layer to another, that is unticked. Okay, so I'm going to keep working through next videos, and thanks for watching.